Scruffy Audio Network.
I hear the music.
Let's do it.
All right. Hey!
Welcome to Why Would You Go There?
Finally you introduced us. That's great. Well, you didn't introduce us. You just introduced the show.
It's a podcast about travel. My name's Lee.
Yeah, and I'm Troy.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Man, it
Follow
only takes...
us on Twitter at Why Would You Go. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Why Would You Go There.
I am so proud of you, man. It only took 48 episodes for you to start contributing. I am
That's probably the best
thrilled.
Introduction we've ever had.
It's the best one you've ever done. I know that because it's the first. Hey, today we are talking about what city?
Chattanooga.
Oh, yeah. Close
Tennessee.
to our homes, close to our hearts.
Yeah.
I just made that up. Was that good?
That was
good?
really good.
Oh, sweet.
Real.
Yeah.
Good.
So we're talking about Chattanooga today. And
it's a possible stumpy, short vignette,
it
whatever
is not.
you call
We think we're.
it's going to be a full one.
This is going to be a full-length podcast.
I don't know. It's a long time.
Yeah. Well, we've decided that the vignettes are only, we say 10 minutes, but no more than 15. So we're going to talk more. Yeah, 10 minutes. We're going to talk more than 10 minutes about Chattanooga for sure.
Yeah.
You can ramble about anything for at least 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So I feel like we'll have a full podcast out of this.
Oh,
and we didn't say a vignette at the beginning, so we're not doing a vignette.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, even if it is 8 minutes, we're going to call it a full podcast. So
Nice.
Chattanooga, for folks that don't know, we are in East Tennessee in Knoxville.
Yeah.
Chattanooga is just an hour and a half down the road from us. And I've been through Chattanooga, and you've been through Chattanooga dozens of times throughout our lives. But actually visiting Chattanooga, I'd say I've probably visited Chattanooga maybe 6 or 8 times.
Okay.
And then a couple of times really spent a little time there.
Yeah.
I did an anniversary trip there early on in my marriage because we couldn't afford much, but we went to Chattanooga and for a few days, and that was a pretty fun trip.
Yeah.
So we didn't put anything up on the board because we don't have a board in here because apparently the studio crashed an hour and a half ago, and now we're just scrambling. I think
They should really treat us better. We are royalty.
We said we want a whiteboard. It's really not that expensive. It's just a whiteboard, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, we're your money makers. We are your money makers here.
So true. So we just start marking on the walls, just writing on the walls our ideas.
These freshly painted white walls. I'm going to take a picture of you and post it so people can see how disruptive it would be if we were actually writing on the walls.
That would be awesome.
Because it is really a beautiful place.
Yeah,
it'd be better with our information on it.
Yeah, of course. Well, we'll have to move all
of
our awards and stuff.
I forgot about that. All right, they won't be. Just so if you're listening, no, they will not be in the picture. Those awards are behind me, and I'm going to take a picture behind Lee.
It's true.
But if I was to turn the camera around, you would see we have dozens of awards. Oh yeah,
full.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So let's get back to Chattanooga. A little bit about it. It has 180,000 residents.
Okay.
Which is just a little bit smaller than Knoxville. Knoxville proper has about 190, 195 residents in Knoxville proper. Greater metropolitan area of Knoxville has 250,000, but that includes Maryville, Loudon, all those places.
Yeah.
So I think that when I think of Chattanooga, the first thing that I think of is all of those kind of outdoor things that you can do. So do you want to talk a little bit about Rock City and Ruby Falls, those type places?
No, I don't want to talk about them. Just kidding.
Yeah, going so well.
So Lookout Mountain is it's got basically all those things that you mentioned. It's got the Incline Railway, and it's got Rock City, and it's got Ruby Falls. So let me talk about those for a minute. So the Incline Railway is essentially what it sounds like. It's the world's steepest.
It's a railway that goes up.
Yeah, it's the world's steepest passenger train. Did you know that? It's the world's
I did not know that.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's cool.
So that's kind of cool, and it gives you fantastic views of the city, and then you kind of look to the other sides, and it's not as much city because it's a little more like countryside because it's not super heavily populated outside of Chattanooga. So that's kind of cool. And then, to get another view, you could go to Rock City, which is technically in Georgia. Actually.
Yeah, I've never been.
Yeah.
Well, Chattanooga, we should say, sits right on the Georgia border.
It is, right, Georgia and Alabama, actually. So it's just right there in a little pocket. But Rock City, you can see 7 states from Rock City. Yeah. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So
can you name them? I mean, I know you can name Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia.
Yeah. Tennessee,
so
Alabama,
that's going to
Georgia.
sounds like a no.
Probably Mississippi. Probably
North and South Carolina.
I would definitely say South Carolina. I guess North.
And maybe Maine and Vermont. Or is it Oregon? Which one?
Yeah. I'm going to look that up, actually.
Oh, please don't.
So,
because we need to make sure we have plenty of time on this podcast. So, yeah, that'll take a while for you to look that up. Anyway, so one thing that I noticed on TripAdvisor, who we always like to plug, but who doesn't really appreciate it.
They don't plug us back.
No, they don't plug us back. And I know you love to be plugged back. So you're bitter about that.
Who doesn't love a good plug-in? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, wildly inappropriate.
Yes.
So
I've been hanging around you too long.
TripAdvisor has something called the Chat Pass. And for $96, you get a pass that includes Ruby Falls, Lookout Mountain. There's a walking tour of downtown. They have a really nice downtown, which we'll get to in a moment. The Knoxville Zoo is right there in downtown, and it's a pretty nice zoo. And then they have a guitar museum.
The Knoxville Zoo is
downtown the Chattanooga Zoo. The Chattanooga Zoo. Did I say Knoxville?
You did.
Of course I did.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so used to Zoo Knoxville because we go that all the time.
Dealing with an idiot.
Are you just finding that out? But you get a ride on the Incline Railroad, and you also get ticket to this guitar museum, which I have no idea what that has to do with Chattanooga. I've never seen it, but I think the guitar museum was like, "Hey, nobody's coming here. Why don't we get in on this Chat Pass? Yeah. And see if we can get some folks in." So that's $100 for all those things. That's a pretty good value.
Yeah, that's a great value. So I didn't even finish talking because I got sidetracked by the states.
Tell me about them. What can you see from up on Lookout Mountain?
The states are Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama. You were right, North and South Carolina, Georgia, and then the one that's kind of funky is Virginia. And I guess Kentucky's kind of funky.
I guess because Virginia has that tip that comes right over on the top of East Tennessee, so it's not that far. You're not going to see, Virginia up in D.C. area, but Alexandria or anything. But the tip of Virginia, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, you might be able to see some states like that in the Northeast when they're smaller states, but all those are big states. Big states.
Yeah, very cool.
Big land masses. So Ruby Falls, I didn't mention earlier, but it's kind of it's like in a cave, underground cave, and it's got a 145-foot waterfall. Nice
cool.
little walk through the cave, and it has lights, that kind of go against the waterfall, so it turns it different colors, and I think now it has a zip line and a rock climbing wall outside it. So that's kind of cool. So I went there and it was fun. I mean, it was a good time. It's a great place for kids. and there's tons of kids there.
Oh, yeah.
So you probably going to have to dodge a few of those, but
so you're saying for me to stay away, unless I have grandkids with me.
Yeah, especially if there's like a school trip there, so you got to be careful.
Yeah,
during the week probably.
Yeah,
but
every tourist's worst nightmare. A school bus pulls up and kids start unloading.
Yeah. But that the Chat Pass that you mentioned, that's a pretty fantastic thing because Ruby Falls is $22. Rock City is $22, and the Incline Railway is $15. So that right there is yeah. I mean that's already pretty
you also get.
itself.
I mean, we're doing this a little bit different because we don't have a food section. I don't think, do we? I don't think we have a food section, but you also get with that a $15 pass to Sticky Fingers.
Oh
which is a downtown Chattanooga restaurant.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I mean, so, that you love apparently. So at least you get
all right.
So you get a little bit of a discount. There's two of you. I mean, that's probably lunch. $15. They're not going to charge more than $15. Sticky Fingers.
Or for those three, you could also get like just a pass if you didn't want to do some of that other stuff. But that's still pretty good though with the $15.
Yeah. What's the
The
cost?
3 is I think it was I don't remember.
Great preparation. Thanks.
Well, I wrote it down. So it doesn't make sense now.
Yeah, it doesn't. Sure. We talked earlier about the incline railroad and train ride and everything, and
railway. Could you stop screwing up this podcast?
And well, I'm so distracted by your distraction that I can't help it. But one of the things that whenever anybody says Chattanooga, who's not from around here, the first thing that comes to mind is Choo Choo.
Choo Choo.
Yeah, Choo Choo.
No, that's where you were going.
That.
Gosh, we're on the same wavelength.
So you can visit the Chattanooga Choo Choo, and now it's a hotel.
Yeah.
So they've turned it into a hotel. You can actually stay at the hotel, but there's train cars that you can stay in and sleep in a train car. Why you would want to do that, I don't know. Maybe for the novelty of it, but it doesn't sound very
awesome. Why are you hating on it?
Comfortable at all. But we visited the museum and we visited the train station. When we were there, we rode the I guess it's the incline railway. Georgette and I, whenever we were there before, and it's kind of a nice old train. And you take this little, I don't know, maybe an hour trip, 30 minutes up and then 30 minutes back. And you're just slow going, looking out the window at the scenery. It's kind of beautiful.
Yeah. It's a historic place, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like the National Historic Registry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. So they also have, we didn't talk about other attractions, the Tennessee Aquarium. So they have what's a pretty legendary aquarium.
So,
and I hear people talk about going there all the time just to go to the aquarium.
Let me tell you. So that brings back my childhood. We used to take school trips there.
Oh, so you were some of those kids that people hated.
Oh, definitely. The ones that they hated for sure. Yeah. So we used to go there and take school trips, and I'd been there several times.
Yeah.
And the aquarium was always awesome. And it was kind of state of the art at the time. There wasn't a ton of other ones that were as good or as not. Now there's a lot of nice ones in like Atlanta or Boston or somewhere else, other places for sure. But it was fantastic, and it's got like 12,000 animals, and I pulled up the front page of their
I assume most of them are fish.
Yes. But not all, actually. Yeah. But its guest satisfaction is rated number 1 for best aquarium in America.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that.
So it's really cool. I remember, when I would walk down, they had like ramps that would go, through this one area. So as a kid, you're trying to look over somebody because somebody's staring at the same thing that you're looking at. But in the ramps, it's pretty good because you can just stop, and there's like 2 or 3 different levels where you can be in different places and still look
see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's kid friendly.
Yeah.
And you want that in an aquarium.
Definitely.
I mean, not in a bar, but in an aquarium, you definitely want it kid friendly.
Yeah. Which is why you're always in a bar. I mean, always. Just kidding. So the aquarium it's a really great aquarium. I'd highly recommend it. I went there just a few years ago, and it was great.
Is it right in downtown?
Yeah, okay. It is. It's kind of tucked back, but yes, it's easily accessible from downtown.
So they have, speaking of downtown, a great downtown.
They do.
Yeah, it's very walkable. It's actually, I feel like it's spread out more than our downtown is.
Yeah, it is.
But it is a walkable place. They have all kinds of shops. And one of the things that I like about it is they have Lookouts Baseball right there in downtown.
Yeah,
I mean, that's why we've been there a lot of times.
Yes.
Just go to a baseball game.
Yeah.
So that's kind of neat because you've got that stadium right there, and it overlooks Chattanooga. So it overlooks downtown and everything. And it's really kind of cool.
So it's a minor league stadium, so it's not too big, but it's really nice. So you can get close to the players. The games are always fun. It seems like every game we've been to, it seems like they've been great.
We had one where it was raining.
Yeah,
we had one where it was raining, and that stunk. But other than that.
But it's a fun place to go and just kind of hang out and have a good time. And if you like baseball, even if you don't like baseball, it's still a fun event to go to.
Yeah, it is good. I mean, I go there just to hang out with friends whenever we go. So.
And you mentioned the downtown. In the baseball part of the deck or whatever it is overlooks downtown.
Yeah,
and they have a river walk. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so it kind of
overlooks that too.
Yeah, it does. And it's interesting because that has just been revitalized big time. I mean, it's one of those things that's Chattanooga used to be like, okay, you'll go see Ruby Falls and maybe Rock City and the aquarium, but now they've revitalized this downtown, and it's just so nice. And it's interesting because It's a really nice downtown. It looks very new, but it still has kind of a little bit of a quaint feel.
Yeah,
so it's
I can see that.
It's a really nice downtown that's not too big. You can easily walk around it and spend some time, and that river walk is pretty good. It gives you a good walk.
I haven't spent any
the city.
time on that river walk area.
Well, you
at
need
all.
to.
Yeah, I do. We need. I mean, it's just an hour and a half from here. There's really not a reason we don't go down there and spend more time.
Yeah, it is. It's good.
Okay, so what else you want to talk about Chattanooga?
So one other thing, I know how you feel about these, but I'm going to bring it up because I don't know how long they've been doing it, but I know they've been doing it somewhat recently. Are the duck tours, the Chattanooga duck tours?
It's not that I feel terrible about them. They've just been in the news within the last year for killing people.
Well,
I'm just not going to do one.
The ducks have drowned. Yes,
yes.
But yeah,
I didn't know they did that. Yeah,
yeah. So they're like Boston or some of these other. There's a lot of cities that are doing them now, where it's a vehicle / boat. It goes on the pavement and then into the water and kind of takes you around. Yeah. Wow, good. I like that. So I think that's another neat way to see the city.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah,
and you can get walking tours of downtown and all that kind of stuff. And
yeah. And we talked about kids earlier. Right beside the baseball stadium is the Creative Discovery Museum for Kids.
I did know that.
I've not been there, but I've had tons of friends.
I haven't been in it, but I've thrown rocks at the door.
Yes.
I'm kidding.
No, you're not.
I'm kidding. Yes, I am. There were bricks.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's a great place. I've had so many people tell me that they've went there and they've taken their kids there and they loved it. So that's a place you should definitely check out if you go. And again, it's another place that's just right downtown, just right there. So yeah.
All right, sweet. So I think that about wraps it up, unless you have something else specifically you want to talk about Chattanooga about.
I don't think so. I know it's also well known for having a bunch of festivals and
so
yes,
you do
but
have something
else
you want to talk about.
I don't have any specific
festivals.
No, I don't have anything.
You're not a big festival person, are you?
No, not really. Yeah,
I'm not all about
people and
I hate sitting outside and people getting in my way.
Yeah.
I'm trying to take a picture of that mountain. Get out of my way.
So true.
They put this stupid stage up right there in front of this mountain I want to take a picture of.
Yeah. There's always somebody standing on it. Yeah.
What are they screaming about? Shut up.
That is, yeah. That's actually me to a T.
It really is. Okay, so why don't you give me your final thoughts?
Yeah, so
on Chattown.
Chattown is cool. Enjoy it. It's a nice little place that, again, has a kind of a smaller town feel, but it's big enough that you can definitely spend a weekend there and you can have a great time. Yep. There's a bunch of things to do, and specifically a bunch of things to do that are, tailored for that area that are not necessarily in a bunch of other places. So you can experience things that you might not be able to experience in other cities, even though it's a significantly smaller city. So hit it up. It's probably an hour and a half, 2 hours from here.
But not everybody that listens is from here.
Yeah.
For the people that listen in Sweden, it's not an hour and a half. You're going to have a hard time if you just get in your car and drive an hour and a half in one direction and expect Chattanooga to be there. It's not going to.
But you'll love the airport. It's really small if you fly in from Sweden. Yeah, it's a tiny.
And if you're coming from New Zealand, I know we have people listening in New Zealand.
Yeah,
too.
We do.
Yeah, it's going to take you a while to get there. It's not an hour and a half either. Anyway, so. My final thoughts are that I think it's definitely worth the trip. Depending on how far away you are, I don't know that I would leave Florida to go to Chattanooga or California to go to Chattanooga. But if you're within 2 or 3 state radius of Chattanooga, I think it's well worth the drive. Again, I don't think I would ever take a trip that I had to take a plane. Yeah. I would not do that. But you said it's kind of has a small town feel. It is technically a city. I mean, it's big. It's 180,000 folks, but it's a small city. So that's why it has that small town feel. And they have a great downtown. If you decide to go to Chattanooga, stay downtown and try to take in a baseball game, walk around, see the sights, and then you can always drive out to Ruby Falls and all those other places. And one thing that I really enjoyed while I was there is, I love trains, so I like the train ride. I like the little train museum there. We're going to talk at some point about other cities that I've been to where there's been train museums, and I've seen those. So that was kind of cool. It really was kind of neat. But I think go there. I think you can cue the music whenever you're ready, Ben. We're about ready to roll. So why don't you leave with our motto, which we didn't do on the vignette?
Oh,
after you are you deliberately trying to not do the motto because you trashed it? You trashed it a couple podcasts ago.
It's better to go someplace than you hate than to not go anywhere at all. What a terrible motto.
Oh, yeah. So get out and go to Chattanooga.
Yeah.
Go to Chattanooga. Or Sweden, like I mentioned. Or New Zealand or wherever. But yeah.
Chattanooga is one of those, it's right off Interstate 75. So it's one of those that if people are driving from the north to go down to the beach in Florida or something.
Yeah, you take a day.
Great place.
You should definitely take a day. Yeah, I agree with that.
All right. Are we going to change our motto or what?
Well, you come up with something. Come up with something better.
Yeah.
Anytime. We can change the motto anytime. We've only done it 48 times. So, I mean, we're right in the start.
How about it's better to go someplace that you love than to not go anywhere at all?
Well, that's obvious. That's just too obvious.
But is it really better to go someplace that you hate? I guess it is, actually, for me.
Yeah,
but for most people, probably not.
Oh, no. I mean, the worst experience I had probably ever had was the Paris subway, and I'd probably go there again. I mean, it was an experience.
Yeah.
So it's better to go someplace you hate.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
punch some Parisians in the face.
We'll keep it for now. We'll revisit it next podcast.
I'm very sure that we will. I'm very sure we will. All right.
Okay.
I'm done.
You are done.
Yeah. Screw you.
You're done.